right back, Charlie.
There's always that active red line defending. I think it's like. There's always that active red line defending. I think it's like. There's always that active red line defending. I think it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Man. Come on. I'm sure some Arsenal fans won't be happy to see my face based on how they treat me on social media today, but nonetheless, people deluded. I'm back again. It's Tottenham Hotspur against Newcastle. It's watch along settings. Big up to you lot across YouTube and Twitch. Appreciative of you lot tuned in. Again, if you're on YouTube, do me a favor, please smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't. Twitch gang, make sure you're following with Amazon Prime and make sure you're cross following. Now, you lot know me. I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm a fan of the game first. If you're looking for me to just sit here and, draw out Spurs, which you listen to my brethren, I'll be here all day. I love that. But to you lot, I'm not here for that. But I'm not going to lie. As an Arsenal fan, I don't think Tottenham are going to lose today. My guess is Tottenham 2, Newcastle 1. But I feel like Scrooge. From Arsenal never got 3 points. I don't want no one to have 3 points. I didn't get to banter my United brethren after what Bournemouth did. Aston Villa humbled me to a degree. Hopefully Spurs lose. I heard them blue lot, in they claim it's West London, but it's actually Southwest. I heard Everton did a job against them. It's not easy. You mean to tell me they're a 10 points deduction and they're close to being ahead of you in the league table, if not already? But yeah, sticking to task. Appreciative of you lot tuned in. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night, dependent on where you lot are in this universe, folks. Jams are highlights. Appreciate you. I got a bone to pick with you. Pause. Hey. Nah, I'm playing, man. But I see your little reaction to you didn't put my face in the thumbnail again. What's going on? I'm the sexiest content creator. We did. I bet the views went down, though. What, you're putting Curtis Shaw ahead of you now? So it's all fun and games, man. Big up yourself. Shout out Cameron Jerome, a.k.a. Curtis Shaw. Someone tell him to look at his DMs. This weekend has been superb. See Chelsea lose to Pick and Mix FC. Interesting weekend of football. I can't lie, DG. Interesting to say the least. I'd also say disappointing. I'm a bit sour. I ain't even watched none of the highlights. And at this point, I think I heard Fulham are sourcing someone as well. So, yeah, man, it's just a crazy festive period. Hopefully, my club get back to winning ways next week. Hopefully, Newcastle do the job. I say that. Big up Newcastle. Big club. I like your fans. I like your team. I do like Eddie Howe. But you see you. Ironically, Postecoglou as well. You lot are on this kiss up to the media thing a bit too much. Eddie Howe, you see when you bred referees, they humble you with VAR, You should join what Arteta's trying to do, man. Let's form a fight against these refs. Yeah, we bottled it again. No surprise there. Jams, I keep forgetting you're a Chelsea fan, You're a good content creator, man. And you have a good taste in content creators. But you see, long may that continue over them sides. Boy. And I even see Manchester City turned it around against Luton. I mean, God, we all knew that was going to happen, people. Again, as I said, it's 5th place Tottenham Hotspur against 7th place Newcastle, people. Newcastle actually are on 26 points. Spurs are on 27. It's been made well known that in the last 5 games, Spurs have taken the lead and failed to win. Surely that's got to stop at some point. Richarlison starts. Apparently he hasn't scored in none of his 19 previous league starts for the club. So I'm sure they'd love their £50 million signing to do something. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. We got humbled against Villa, but I'm still shameless on United and Chelsea clowning. Amen. But the thing is, we didn't get humbled. We got zanged. We zanged ourselves. We humbled ourselves. We didn't score. VAR is VAR. But I guess, the game is the game. If you don't get 3 points, you can't talk nonsense, can you? Nice to see Chelsea dunked on twice today. Big up Arsenal's women as well, because the Chelsea result was even better what we did. Shout out to the Arsenal women saving my weekend from being moody. Big up to Arsenal's women's side. Shout out to our under-18s because we smashed Crew Alexander in the FA Youth Cup. 7-1, I believe. Ethan did quite well. Long may it continue. Again, reactions and all that youth content videos soon come out this week. So turn on your notifications, Arsenal fans. You know I do my best to cover it all, man. Let's see if Spuds get fresh today. As an Arsenal fan, I would love for Newcastle to win. I could be wrong, but a bit like Aston Villa, who dealt with us at their place, Newcastle are a bit spooky, like in terms of playing at home and away. Spurs could do a thing. And if I'm honest with you, as much as I like to boy Spurs and run jokes and things like that, and at the end of the day, they have to hold themselves accountable. You know, they've struggled in the last 5 games. You know, the last 5 games, they haven't won in 5, 4 L's and a draw. Ultimately, it's a results-driven business. They won the league in October. Postecoglou, this, that, and the third. They have got some good players. But I think, obviously, they haven't coped with injuries because it's affected the performance and the players that could go out. But away from banter and that, I actually think Spurs have been quite unfortunate, really and truly. It sounds silly, but it reminds me of when Arteta first took over and we would actually do well in certain games and, you know, Mustafi or Socrates or many other players, not just being unfair, would just do something silly. Now, midweek, you obviously saw that in the Spurs game. Players, it's not that they're playing bad, really and truly. And based on the football I've seen from Postecoglou, obviously, you're going to miss quality players and so on and so forth. But I don't think there's been a drop. Ultimately, some players are showing their levels and making mistakes and whatnot. But I think something's got to give. And I'm not going to say I'm backing Spurs 100%. I'm not. But as I said, I'm going with Spurs 2, Newcastle 1. Obviously, I would love to be proven wrong. Would love Newcastle to run riot. Want to see Isaac Cook. Want to see Almiron Cook. Shout out to, is it Miley again? Another start for the 17-year-old for Newcastle. Don't know where they found him. He's got to be an industry plant, man, because I hear nothing about you. And now you're playing week in, week out. Thing of dreams, really, isn't it, folks? Could you imagine? What was he all doing at 17? Not playing Premier League and Champions League football, actually. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Should we see from a statistical point of view? I think we've got 8 minutes until kickoff. We make sure I've got the right channel, which I do. Apparently, Tottenham Hotspur have lost both Premier League games against Newcastle last season. They haven't lost more consecutively against them since a run of 6 between 2006 and 2008. Newcastle United have won 11 Premier League matches against Spurs, their joint most against an opponent alongside Newcastle, West Ham United. Apologies. Among the 41 fixtures to be played 50 plus times in the Premier League, Newcastle and Spurs averages more goals per game than any other. Both sides have scored in each of their last 7 fixtures between the two. Boy, could be in for a madness today, people. In Premier League history, only Arsenal and Spurs and Liverpool versus Newcastle have seen more first half goals scored than Newcastle versus Tottenham, which is 86. Indeed, the Magpies led 5-0 at halftime in their last meeting in April. Swear down. Swear, football moves fast. Swear down that happened. We let Spurs fans get away with that. Hoping we see Newcastle run 6 past these men again. I hope that could be the case, but I think Spurs are going to do it, man. I just feel the only thing they need to cut out is them stupid brain farts that some of their players have been doing. But listen, Gordon's in my FPL team. If you want to turn up today, let's do it. Joe Linton, you want to do it? Let's do it. You know, is Joe Willock on the bench? Let's actually check. It'd be lovely for him to come off the bench and back. You actually see who's on the bench for both teams while we're there, actually. For Spurs on the bench, you've got Skip, Højbjerg, Gill, Emerson Royal, Lo Celso, Forster, Valise, Jamie Donnelly, and Alfie Dorrington. So I'll media you them, man. But anyways, on the bench for Newcastle, you've got Dummett, Wilson, Ritchie, Kraft, Karius. Karius at Newcastle. Boy. Lewis Hall, Mark Gillespie, Sean Longstaff, Alex Murphy. So dare I say, it looks like a bit of a depleted bench from Newcastle, if I'm honest. So yeah, man, I feel like the Chelsea manager will go tonight. Surely they gotta stick with Poch. I know it gets brazy, but surely they have to commit to him for at least, I won't quite say this time next season, but if he's still doing these things by August of next year, then cut. Won't be mad if Son scores for my points. 1-1, I think. Do you know what? I think both managers would take a point, but at the same time, you know, for both teams, Tottenham are 5th, United are 6th, and Newcastle United are 7th. You know, Newcastle got 26 points. Spurs and Man United have the same. Obviously, Man United are going to get it together at some point, maybe. You've got a chance to move away from them. If you're Spurs, you take some points off Newcastle. If you're Newcastle, you move above Spurs as well. Obviously, we're all fighting for Champions League qualification as a minimum. So these games are 6-pointers. And you would have seen the results generally in and around the Premier League this weekend. But yeah, man. Chelsea have a good run of games. If he loses another 2, at least I can see him getting sacked off. Then they're going to have, well, the season's already a write-off. Long may it continue, really. But then who would they get? To be fair, Chelsea could get anyone, but who would you get? And I think Chelsea have to really sit there and say, what is our philosophy? It's great buying wavy players, and Chelsea got a great academy, but what is the philosophy? When whoever came over, when the Middle Eastern guys took over Manchester City, they said, we want a Barcelona of sorts in Manchester. Obviously, they got Pep, they got all the directors in place, they patterned their academy, they did all the things in the right way. When you look beneath the money and the players Chelsea are signing in, and obviously it is a big club, what is going on? There's just a bunch of good players, but it's not doing nothing, really. But yeah, Chelsea fan channels will be fun to watch tonight. And realistically, with you, I agree with you in that they probably do have a good run of games coming up. But at the same time, the way they're playing, is there ever a good run of fixtures? Not too sure, man. Kickoff is 4 minutes away, folks. Again, if you haven't hit the like button, if you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? Up along 3-1 Newcastle. But hey, do you know what? Anyone expecting goals? Statistically, there's goals in these games. I'm going with 2-1 Spurs, which I hope is wrong, but that's what I'm going with. Andy Howe and Postecoglou embrace each other, two breads. It's crazy. But yeah, it'd be lovely. It'd be lovely if Spurs lost today, innit? Hopefully. I mean, for Spurs, at least they welcome back Sarr, I believe. Ain't seen him play for Spurs for a while. Once again, you can see the lineups to the left and right of myself: Vicario, Puro, Romero, Davies, and Doggy, Sarr, Basuma, Kulusevski, Johnson, Richarlison, and Son is the starting 11 for Spurs. The home team, the away side: Newcastle, Debradka, Trippier. We saw you midweek. You need to fix up today. Sarr, Lascelles, Livramento, Guimaraes, Miley, Almiron, Joe Linton, Isaac, and Anthony Gordon. Isaac on reperf, load it. To be fair with you, man, Isaac and Gordon, because let's be honest, Isaac, you was a bit spooky in Bundesliga, but you became 30. Gordon, I didn't see this Gordon at Everton, innit? Whatever you're on at Newcastle is a different Gordon. Spurs' youngsters are needy, though. Who's this for Leshy? They tried to buy their own little Alvarez. It did not bang. Anyhow, I can't lie, man. I'm starting not to like you, man. You changed. Besides the Everton match, Newcastle impressed me. I feel like they could pull off something if they keep Kühler and Son quiet. But the thing is, Newcastle look shaky at home, man. They look kind of spooky in their home away games. Apologies. But you never know. It's a bit like Aston Villa. Like, obviously, regardless of the result, I'm happy to get another difficult away game off the calendar list. But I reckon Arsenal at home beat them yesterday, And again, obviously, if the same things happened at the Emirates, we don't. But you get the point. And Newcastle's one of them teams. I can't lie. I always fancy Newcastle at the Emirates, even though it is frustrating. They do kick lumps out of you and waste time. Away from home, boy, it's scary. But that's the Premier League. Even Luton, Luton very well could get relegated. But nobody, not Liverpool, not Arsenal, Manchester City, regardless of Arsenal and City winning there, Spurs won there, not any one of the big six or whatever's the top six, none of them can say they rocked up at Luton and it was an easy game. Football's crazy. The league's crazy, isn't it? Trippier, you need to fix up today. Apparently, Almiron scored in Newcastle's 2-1 victory of Spurs last season. Can lightning strike twice? Gordon, FPL, 7 goals and 3 assists in his previous 15. You're getting the Sky Sports highlights. You need to get my FPL some points today. Not going to lie, Bruno Guimaraes is a lovely player, but there's a young agenda brewing. Big games, he's a bit spooky. Maybe today can prove us wrong. Bro, what happened to Kulusevski? Why has he got the Rudiger thing on? What happened to his face? What we get so right? Apparently, he's created the second most open play chances for Spurs this season. Quality player and an Arsenal fan. So, yeah. Newcastle United will kick off. Unfortunately, this is being played at Spurs' home ground. So I can actually, you lot can't too tough, but I can actually hear, my window's closed, but you can actually hear the fans. And we're off, people. Newcastle have kicked off. If you haven't smashed the like button, smash it. Let me know your predictions, talking points throughout, all of that good stuff. Newcastle have given the ball away, really. 2 shaky moments there. Destiny and Doggy, that touch was horrible, but he still has possession. He's found Richarlison. Richarlison does well to find Kulusevski. Kulusevski down this left-hand side. I think we're in for a treat, Is it too late to say 3-2 each way? Let me stick to 2-1, but there could be goals here. Sarr. Pedro Porro. delivers. No, it doesn't. It's not gone past the first man. Big up yourself, D. Happy to have you tuned in. And hopefully it's a good game of football, man. Sarr in possession, folks. Isaac. Spurs are giving it away cheaply. Well, just as I've said that, Newcastle have outdone them there, if I'm completely honest with you. Which is quite ridiculous. Destiny and Doggy's gone home to Vicario. I can't lie, this Vicario guy, he's all right, man. I wanted to run agendas, but he's actually a decent keeper. And speaking of things, Spurs and Newcastle both need to look after the ball a lot better. Spurs unnecessarily gave it back to Newcastle in dangerous territory, but Newcastle couldn't exploit it. It's here with the captain's son, Basuma, who made a mistake midweek, didn't he? Boy, some Arsenal fans are dropping their knickers for him. Agendas have to agenda. Patient build-up play here from Spurs. It's here with Davies. Kulusevski can't afford to lose it there. Gets out of there very well. Son and Kulusevski play a very good 1-2, if I'm honest. It's too easy from Bruno Guimaraes, and Spurs could be in here, actually. Oh, was that the best pass? It's here with Sarr, apologies, on this right-hand side. And now it's here with Kulusevski. Let me sit back. I keep getting glued towards the TV. Sarr. Hopefully this is a good game of football, man. As a neutral, I want to see drama, early goals, defensive mistakes, sending offs, yellow cards, dodgy VAR decisions, and the rest of it. Thought Trippier was fouled there, and he didn't need to go over in dramatic fashion, but he still did nonetheless. And he's done well to win a free kick. Again, it's only been 2 minutes into the game. You can't really sit here and draw conclusions, but I would say Spurs have started the stronger of the two sides. But again, as you lot know, football's a 90-minute game. I think we're all waiting for Debradka to take this free kick, and then commentary can recommence. I mean, we all know he's going long, but come on, ref. Debradka's gone long. Tottenham throwing. I mean, if that's the angle of Eddie Howe, isn't it? I mean, if you make it an exhibition and whatnot with Spurs and the home crowd, that won't necessarily be the right thing. But Newcastle got some good players out there. Do you need to go long all the time? Spurs have a commitment to playing out from the back. They have given it back to Newcastle. Although, again, as I've said, that it's back here with Spurs. Both teams not careful enough in possession. Pedro Porro has found Sarr. Sarr finds Basuma. There could be goals here today, man. On the lowest of key, folks, there could be goals. Ben Davies, a Destiny and Doggy, is playing as an inverted fullback. Basuma. Son, that's a good ball to Ndoggy. He's found Richarlison, who has to shoot, but has the decision-making of someone that hasn't scored in 19-odd games. Don't know if appealing for a penalty is going to get them anywhere, but that was not good enough from the Spurs' front, man. It could have been an opening. And Pedro Porro tried to deliver a good ball into the box. Brennan Johnson's acted like a Newcastle defender and probably taking a ball that was not meant for him. Good play from Spurs' Destiny and Doggy and Son Heung-min, if I'm completely honest with you. Oh, did that hit Guimaraes' hand? I don't know what he's supposed to do about that, but the Premier League is dodgy. Who knows? But yeah, even though it's early on in the game, probably should have been a chance. Again, it's actually confirmed. Not scored in 19 previous starts for Tottenham, Richarlison. Can he prove everybody wrong? Newcastle, a good bit of play here. Livamento's touch took it out of play, just as I said that. Come on, Newcastle, man. Romero. Found Davies. He's pumped it into the left-hand channel. Son's flipped it on. He's here with Kulusevski. Newcastle are going to concede soon. Richarlison, can he get the shot away? Again, shooting like someone who doesn't know what's scoring. I get this guy off the pitch, man. Who is this? 50 million on him and Brennan Johnson. Brennan Johnson ain't even done nothing, but he has to catch a stray for the agendas. It's a good run by Richarlison, but again, the touch took it outside. There's only one thing on his mind. I don't know if they've actually got a corner, but that looked like a horrible effort seeing that first time. Good bits of play here from Spurs initially, and Richarlison's just been a step off everything. In fact, to save Richarlison, they actually have been given a corner. And Pedro Porro has done all right in terms of assists. You might keep it up. You might be in my FPL side. In-swing corner. It's a good ball, really. Newcastle, have they defended it well? No, it's fallen to a Spurs shirt. What the hell are Newcastle doing here? Somehow they've hooked it away. Newcastle are ramping. Destiny and Doggy. Cute bit of skill. Finds Basuma. Are Newcastle nervous? Ball into the box. Spurs have it on the edge of the area. Davies fluffed his lines. Newcastle hook clear. Every Tottenham outfield player, well, not now that they're running back, but was just in Spurs. It was just in, apologies, Newcastle's half. Newcastle not looking like the Newcastle of St. James's Park. Brennan Johnson. He's found Pedro Porro. Richarlison's there. He's put it across. It should be 1-0. The Bradker quick off his line. Newcastle need to wake up. Pardon me. Whenever I see Spurs at home, they do start fast. Almiron. Boy. To be fair, I think Ndogi cutback caught him off guard. I hear they probably didn't, they don't expect us fullbacks to do wavy things, but expect the unexpected. Spurs have had 80% of the ball. Newcastle just 20 inside this opening 6 minutes. Just as I've said, that first bit of sustained possession and bit of just stringing some passes together from Newcastle. And it's ended up with Gordon on this left-hand side. He's found Joe Linton. Joe Linton, come on, pass it. Joe Linton squares. Hey, who's shooting? Gamares. Oh, he's tried to do the Brazilian thing, and it replay probably doesn't look as close as I thought. He's tried. Has he hit that with the outside of his boot? Won't quite say big chance for Newcastle, but a good chance. First thing we've said about Newcastle, Richarlison's done very well. He's tried to cut across it. It's horrible, man. That's what I try to do at Power League. It don't bang like that, although don't diss me. 1 goal wonder, but you seen what happens when I strike the ball first time. But horrible there. In Newcastle's defense, it definitely was going to be one of them where soaking up the pressure and hitting them on the lack is the move. Do you know what? Again, you're right. Realistically, if you go to someone's manor, we've all played Sunday League, you're going to sit there. Your gaffer might say, listen, boys, first 10, relax, innit? They're going to be excited. They're going to try things, relax, and then play your way into the game. So you're onto something. You've got to be able to do that and be street smart. But at the same time, no matter what, you got to be able to score goals. And I think I'm a bit weird, but if I was a manager, I'd want my team to be more attacking away from home. Obviously, with what you're saying makes sense, and with those contexts, apply it. But for me, it's all about shutting up the away crowd. We know what 12th man and all these things do. Because then, come on, man, we've all watched football matches and been in away ends and home ends. You'll pick it or gone to Sunday League. Any touch from the opposition, you're onto. I know I definitely am every Sunday. If I'm not playing, I'm watching, getting onto the person's first touch, trying to gain an advantage. Lascelles has gone to De Bradker. Obviously, De Bradker playing because of Nick Pope's injury. Bruno Gomares has to go home. It's hooked by Sarr. He's found Joe Linton. Joe Linton put too much on that. Is Gordon onside? Hey, Newcastle could be. Hey, Gordon, FPL. Hey, FPL. Hey, Wally. Oh, brother, what's more? No, man, that is an elite break from Newcastle. That is the biggest chance of this game. Joe Linton, that is a fantastic ball. Gordon in acres of space. I thought he's going to bang it. He's tried to make sure everybody eats. He's tried to square it. Ben Davies needs to take a bow because that's great defending from the Tottenham Hotspur, man, to just get a touch on it. And then it's come off Isak. But that's ridiculous. These are the things that's going to make Eddie Howe lose hair. As a manager, come on, professional footballers, you're pleading with them to score. And there's goals in this, man. It has started very well. There's been a decent little tempo. Spurs have probably thrown the most punches. But just in a couple of talking points, you've probably heard me say Newcastle have tried to get forward. And if I'm honest, obviously I'm not trying to praise Spurs, but definitely when I've done watch-alongs for their games at home, they start very well. And I think I'll always use that Aston Villa game as a something to be wary of in the Premier League. They should have scored 5-10 in the first 10 minutes of that game, but they didn't. The longer this game goes on, the more it plays into probably Newcastle's hands. Both teams are struggling with injuries. Haven't said much on Brennan Johnson versus Livramento, but here it is on this right-hand side, folks. And it's here with Pedro Porro. If you haven't hit the like button, make sure you do such, folks. Appreciative to all of you lot who have. Davies, Porro. I think a goal could open this game right up, people. No options for Romero. He has to go all the way home to De Bradker. De Bradker. Is he going to go long just to mix it up? Looks like he's tried to pop it into the right-hand channel. He's found Pedro Porro, who uncharacteristically, it's unlike him. He's just passing like he hates his teammates. Overhit that. De Bradker. Showing he can be a modern-day keeper. And Gordon's offside. He won't try and get involved. Back here with Spurs. Not too much to scream and shout about currently, people. But yeah, the Bradker, who is, I'd assume, Newcastle's number one at this moment in time with the injury to Nick Pope. Basuma's forced to go backwards. Be a big 3 points for either side today, wouldn't it? And as an Arsenal fan, he didn't get 3 points. I'll tell you, I'd want that. Kulusevski is down this left-hand side. Richarlison's got to get on his bike. That run isn't good enough. Destiny and Doggy earned the corner for his tenacious approach, surely. Thought that come off Trippier. I stand corrected. It's a goal kick. Apologies, folks. In that case, it's quite poor from the Spurs, this fullback. 11 minutes in, folks. It is still 0-0 in the Kieran Trippier derby. Sure, we had good times at Spurs. Not too much to be said in terms of trophies, but, you know, I swear there was a year they went unbeaten at home. In fact, no, that wasn't you. Was it you? You might. Was you? It's definitely the two Belgian centre-backs, Carl Walker. I can't remember who was left back. Danny Rose. No, you weren't about. I'm giving you clout where you don't deserve it. I'm not informed on that, Gerald, but I'll do my research. But big up your take. Come on, Newcastle. We need to let Spurs lose. Would love it, man. I think Spurs are going to win, but yeah, I'd love to be wrong. It's not been too much in terms of quality in this game so far. So, probably needs to get rid of the ball. Looked like he was taking far too long. I personally don't think that's a foul. It's a Spurs throw, and Son wants to take it quickly. He's done that and found Basuma. In fact, the game's been pulled back because Sarr is on the floor. I think Sarr was dilly-dallying in possession there, if I'm honest. He played the Champions League final with them, if not I'm wrong. He might have. He might have, because Walker weren't there them times. He might have. But I feel like Trippier was at Spurs for time, you know. It feels like so long ago, but I'm sure he was there for a minute. Would it be fair to call Trippier overrated? Or am I being harsh? Ben Davies. To be fair, his bit of defending probably the best quality in the game so far, man. If he didn't get a little touch on that, as poor as it was from Newcastle, they probably would have scored. And depending on how this game goes, that's going to probably play on Gordon's mind. Gamares, Trippier, Lascelles. In the last 5 or so minutes, I think the quality's gone down. Both teams not really knocking the ball around. Destiny and Doggy. This is why I did a video in you in 2019. Does very well there. Romero and Doggy. Didn't think that was the best of passes by Romero. Basuma, Davies, and Doggy. Spurs got out of that nicely, to be brutally honest. Oh, surely a foul from Gamares. Ref, there's no advantage. Trips replaced Walker when he left for City. Yeah, he weren't about. Destiny and Doggy should have signed for Arsenal, man. Big up Zinchenko. I think he's a better footballer, but left back, and Doggy's better than you, man. Only thing he can't do is them either needle passes. Speaking of fullbacks, Livamento's on his bike. Joe Linton. See how people never want fullbacks to thrive. When us fullbacks make them over, he's won a free kick, but when us fullbacks make them overlapping runs, they don't want us to get no highlights. That pass should have went out to him 20 years ago. And he even said sorry. See how us fullbacks, we're the most important position in football and we don't get the appreciation we deserve. Ref, anytime you feel like dodgy VARs, please. Free kick to Newcastle United. Trippier was at Spurs till 2022, so 3 years. He's had a decent career, really, since leaving City. Played for Spurs, a lot, as much you can say about that. Went Atletico. Over there. With all due respect to Zinni, there's a limited amount of left backs he clears. Yeah. I mean, Zinni's better than half of these left backs at all that playing on the football stuff, intelligent stuff. But all in all, what everything a left back entails, you're not there. You're not there. And plus, you're accidental left back. In your heart, you don't want to play left back. Richarlison's picked out Son. Son Heung-min, he's by himself. He's going to have to do a madness, really. Son, I don't know what he's trying to do, but Almiron's picked his pockets. Someone like Son should do a lot better. I thought that was a foul there, if I'm completely honest. Ref says play on. In fact, he's called it back. I can't lie, it did look like a foul. The fullback union, serious love in the house. Listen, us fullbacks, we've come a long way, you know. We've come a long way. Trent and that, there's going to be kids growing up to be fullbacks. It's all right, man. Talking about fullbacks. We didn't want to be fullbacks. We weren't good enough strikers and wingers. So we found ourselves here, man. Just like Zinchenko. That's how I know how it worked. But it's cool, man. It's all right, man. They don't appreciate us until we get injured. Look at Tomiyasu in August. Oh yeah, man, he's not gonna play. We might as well sell him. See, don't get the love we deserve. Centre back union. You don't need much to be a centre back. Cool, you can do the defending thing, and yeah, in the professional game, but you don't need much to be a centre back. You don't need no drip to be a centre back. You can just be a good defender. Fullbacks, wingers, centre mids. You need some splash. You need a Cruyff turn or something. Oi, saying that, Brendan Johnson has just popped it over there to leave a mentor, and Spurs could be in here. Brendan Johnson, oh, he can only find Trippier. Well, the clearances from Newcastle is not good enough. Pedro Porro ensures Spurs still have possession. I'll take the Tommy Rose as a defender than Trent. I hear it because obviously at the aspect of defending, Tommy Yasu is better, but all in all package, big up Tommy Yasu, but Trent is way levels above you. I'd rather be like Trent because what Trent can do, Tommy Yasu, he's obviously got outstanding attributes, but as a footballer, there's nothing that stands out about him. Trent, he might be a mediocre defender per se, but in midfield and all the creativity and free kicks and deliveries, bro, he's top of the top, isn't it? Really? Corner kick to Spurs, folks. You want to keep your hands down, boys. Corner kick. I'm not gonna quite say that was cleared off the line, but yeah, it might have been. That's another good opportunity that goes missing for Spurs. Kulusevski. Newcastle probably back to being on the back foot now, folks. But it all depends, man, because I always believe attack is a form of defense. Like, it extends to Zinchenko in some part, but Trent, we know Trent defensively because of there's balance in life. There has to be a trade-off. If he's going to attack a bit more, there's going to be a lot of space. But if the game's going in that way and we're dominating possession and creating, then it's not really that thing. And probably what you saw with Fabinho at Liverpool, that Trent, you can do what you want. Fabinho's there to mop up. But I hear you, though. Pedro Porro tries to go long, it doesn't, man. I'm still on the idea we should have signed Cancelo in the summer. Obviously, we got Timber, and when it clicks, he'll be amazing. But I would have preferred Cancelo over White at right back. To be fair with you, people do have question marks over Cancelo. What I would say is, in hindsight, it would have been nice to have another defensive body. My first preference for Arsenal would be someone of the Tomiyasu and Timber. Hold on, folks. Kulusevski could be in here. Cruyff turn. What's he doing? I know you're left-footed, but pass the ball, mate. And he's still got it. Credit to him. That's terrible by Newcastle. Someone like Kulusevski should have been making the options a lot sooner. Son, Spurs have just allowed Newcastle to get back in shape here. Thinking, what is that going on? I've arrived late to the stream. Elizabeth Lamb was a madness getting it. Listen, hopefully all your stress is eradicated now. And you're here now, Queen and South. That's all that matters. Spurs could be in here. I can't lie. You can't really take your eyes off this game. Basuma. Great strength to hold on to the ball, to be fair. Not seeing much from Newcastle in an attacking sense, but they have, in my opinion, the best chance of the game. They should have scored. Son's delivered. That's a delivery. I mean, you got to rate Richarlison. He's tried, he did it, but such is life. He wasn't getting nowhere near it. Lovely ball into the box by Son Heung-min. Ball, do you know what? On reflection, it's probably too fast for Richarlison, but I know I would have timed my run a lot better. I would have scored that. I do think that's why we're getting Frimpong to be our son on. He's a natural fullback. I hear it, but I would like a Tomiyasu, Timber, someone that I know they're kind of unique, but someone that can play across the whole back four. If not, then I think you need to get another centre back and another fullback. And if possible, if that other fullback is able to play left back and right back. That's why I don't buy the links when we was linked with them, but like the player per se. But when we was linked with James Justin, Timothy Cassandre, like people of that ilk, Cancelo, who's obviously a lot better, I kind of bought it to a slight degree. So yeah, man, it is what it is. So, being a cameraman at these things is sick, isn't it? Like just zooming in there, like that camera, and you're just in there. Utility player, that's the best way to put it. Yeah, man, like a utility player, that would be calm, but they're kind of difficult to find, man. I do want, and I said it in the summer, one thing that was making me more happy about Arsenal this season was, and the seed was planted, definitely. Like when I can't remember where he spoke, but Pep spoke after they actually completed the treble. And he said a big reason as to why they're doing what they're doing is because they've got players that are stronger 1v1. And them kind of times it was, Stones was in, Diaz was in, Ake and Akanji were in, just Walker was there, strong 1v1 players. So that was one thing that ironically in August, looking now, that I would have loved to have had Timber, Tomiyasu, Partey. When the games are coming thick and fast, you need to be spot on. I think we need stronger 1v1 guys. Like I actually like Zinchenko. I'm very fond of Zinchenko. But you're not strong. It's not that you're not a great footballer, but you're not strong enough defensively. Spurs are gifted the possession. Again, at some point, something's got to give. There hasn't been too much quality in the final third from either team, but can that change? Brendan Johnson, not with a pass like that. The care. What Spurs player was necessarily going to get on the end of that? But again, Spurs are broke with ease. Newcastle could be in trouble if they don't get it out together, man. Boy, still 0-0. Newcastle in the final third have just had 4 successful final third passes. Spurs have had 47. It's still 0-0, so doesn't mean much, but you get the point. But Newcastle are really struggling to hold on to the ball. Livramento, can their fortunes change? Need to string 10 passes. Let's get the pass count going. Couldn't even start because Newcastle have given it away. It's not, Spurs have shown they can do that. Richarlison just never in the right position. He's weird because you're not a striker like that to me. You're only a striker in games that I need a focal point. And Doggy could be in here. You might as well bang it. He's tried to pass it. Better man than me because you see me as a fullback. Might never be in that position again. You got to shoot. Almiron tries to take Basuma on a foot race. Looks like he got disarmed there. And Spurs have been given the free kick anyways. Richarlison is down. I don't know if this is the end of his night. What's actually happening with him? What's he holding? Is he holding his calf, his thigh, his shin? He might be in trouble. Maybe it's an impact thing, but it looked like his foot planted as he tried to make a tackle. Well, he's back on his feet. To be fair with you, anyhow, that's the best piece of training I've ever seen, because Reece Nelson was on this, I can't remember, was it Hertha Berlin? He was on loan to the same team that Joe Linton used to play for, and he was a striker. And when Newcastle were linked with him, I was like, are you not smoking dank? Like, no way he's good enough. And slightly I was right, because he's not. He's been made a midfielder. Another ball over the top. I think there's goals. I'm sticking with my 2-1 prediction. I think there's going to be goals, but 4-3s and these things, I don't quite see it unless the game goes up several gears. But yeah, Richarlison is just never in the best position. Zinni is good, but I don't want to rely on him over a season. Ben, you said it there. Like, I don't want your performances to make or break the difference because to a degree, based on how we've assembled the squad and, accepting people like Zinchenko for what they are, the good, bad, and the ugly, you sign up for these results and the lack of personnel. Tomiyasu could have played and the same things could have happened because Tomiyasu's made mistakes defensively, but I think it at least ends 0-0 if Tomiyasu is there. I could see a 2-2. Probably need some dodgy penalty decisions. And I can't lie, I don't even want to rely on Gabriel Jesus over a season. I love him. He's wavy. You play a lot of games, but reliance for me, from what I've seen this season, Bukayo Saka, Saliba, Declan Rice. Couple people below you, but they're the three. Shout out Big Gabriel. The chicken is falling off Brendan Johnson's shirt, just hanging there. Spurs have to defend this free kick. Newcastle have another dead ball. Trippier, it's not the worst of passes to the back post. Lascelles looked like a half decent touch, but remember why he's a centre half. I think he's crashed into the advertise board. He'd be all right. He's going to have to get back, though, because play continues. Spurs look like they were playing their way into pressure there. In fact, what do I know? Good floating pass towards Ben Davies. He's found Kulusevski. Pedro Porro. Saw in acres of space. Saw. Not quite sure what he did there. Trippier obliges and heads it clear. But where's the Newcastle shirt? Pedro Porro had so much time there. Could have built it. And the shape from Newcastle in this moment is quite poor. Spurs are just playing right through it. It's serious problems. Destiny and Doggy to Son. If Spurs scored, Eddie Howe won't be happy about this phase of play. Son delivers. You see? Lovely from Spurs. Destiny and Doggy is back. Spurs has done well. See? This is why this content should not be free. It shouldn't. Spurs 1, Newcastle 0. See the way I see football, people? It's different, you know. It's different. It's like being autistic. Pick up the autistic ones. It's different. I told you, lot, Spurs are just playing through it. This is live. We're not lying. They're just playing through it. That, as I just said, in that, no matter how this game ends, Eddie Howe is not going to be happy about that phase of play. Look, what's the point being in shape? Look, Spurs are just passing through it. Boy, Spurs deserve that. From a Spurs perspective, it's sexy football. I'm not going to lie. Destiny and Doggy involved. He's made a run off the ball. Son is very good delivery. All Destiny had to do is put the ball in the back of the net, and he does that. Great play from Spurs. Horrible off the ball from Newcastle United. Either way, the deadlock has been broken. Spurs 1, Newcastle 0. And on the balance of things, that is the best deserved thing we've seen. Spurs have been better than Newcastle. And again, as I said, boy, I wonder how Anthony Gordon's thinking. Newcastle are not out of this, but they need to get in it. On the money. Boy. 26 minutes in, Tottenham 1, Newcastle 0. And I'm not being funny, but that was a fullback. When I sit here and say us fullbacks are the most underappreciated and we're the best players and we're difference makers, boy. And Spurs could be in here again. Could lightning strike twice? So Richarlison must be looking at his left back teammate funny, you know. He's been trying for time and he just grabbed the goal. Basuma, tenacious from Basuma. I can't lie, his skill is still. I don't know what skill that was, but that was lit. No way he still got it. But it's taken 3 Newcastle players to disarm him. Joe Linton, Gordon. I mean, that was a very late tackle on Gamaras. Boy. I mean, Postecoglou is a good manager, but does he give anyone the vibes? Just when they look at him mid-game, like he's just winging it. Almiron, down this right-hand side. He's found Miley delivers. It's not the worst. So ball Spurs ain't dealt with it. It's falling to Gordon. He's laid it. Joe Linton, he thought he was going to live a movie, innit? Joe Linton, it's a corner. He thought he was going to do the DG thing. It's cannoned off Basuma. He thought he was going to live a movie. Thought he's scoring a screamer, lad. Nah, sir. Whenever Son gets the ball, you know it's going to... Bro, Son... I just want to be Sunday League footballer. Guys like Son are the worst players to play against because they're humble and just from a skill point. In fact, the worst sort of players are probably Martinelli and Jeremy Doku. Just off the base, they want to take you on. But Son is one of the worst because he can go inside. He can take you down the flank. He's using both feet. Always positive. Think Newcastle need to be wary of being overzealous here. It's a corner. It's a good one. Richarlison with a good defensive header. I don't know why the ref's blown, but yeah. Like in the pink cup. Hey, come on. I might even start wearing pink. Pink's my color. Pink, purple, blue. Or what do you expect? Sexist content creator there is. Pose prim and proper for them. Light skin biting lip in that. No, I'm joking. I don't know what the ref's on, but play's been brought back to Spurs at in this particular moment. Vicario's got things started. Ben Davies, who again, you know, he's playing centre back, but he is a fullback. Not going to be given the plaudits for his little, like, he got a touch on that Anthony Gordon pass, or that would have been a different game. Kulusevski. I mean, all the Spurs players have started quite bright. Newcastle, second best isn't right, in it, because I wouldn't say they haven't been there, but not seen much. Haven't had sustained possession. Seen 1-2 chances, but other than that, it's been plain sailing. Kulusevski. A bag of Spurs shirts bombing into the box. Puro. Oh, sorry, Omidi. Sorry, that's horrible. Sorry, that's horrible. Saar has to do better, and it may have been 2-0 Spurs. Saar, that is horrible. Another great passage of play from Spurs. Brennan Johnson, Kulusevski. Who is that out there? Brennan Johnson again, if I haven't said his name. Pedro Porros, lovely play. Saar's got to do better. He's got to hit that properly. Appreciate that. Man, we got to be consistent. You lot are worth being consistent for. Appreciative to you lot tuned in. Postecoglou not happy with that. So far, with 15 minutes to go until the end of the half, if I'm honest, I think Newcastle got to be a bit... I wouldn't say Spurs have pressured them and they're under the cosh. Probably got to thank their lucky stars that it's only 1-0. because I probably back Spurs to get a second before the end of the half, if I'm honest, unless something significant changes from the Magpies. I mean, I'm not saying it's an agenda, and Bruno Gomares is a good player, but as I said before the game, when you deep it, what does he do in big games? Gordon, that's a good pass from Newcastle. Miley, Gomares, skips out Almiron, finds Trippier. Gomares is my man on side. Gomares, see what I'm saying? Looking spooky in big games. Richarlison intercepting you and starting counter attacks, and that is mine. Son, he just couldn't put the proper burners on. I think Spurs are good for their lead. I wouldn't say they're out of the woods yet, Bulls. I wouldn't say they're playing at their sparkling best, but I'm sure their gaffer will be happy with it. Can't wait till these hard fixtures are done. I mean, I gotta be that cliche guy. Is there any easy games in the Prem? I'd rather get the away games out. I would have loved to have sat here as an Arsenal fan on the 10th of December and say, you know what, whatever's going on with the season, we've gone to Anfield, we've gone to Old Trafford, we've gone Chelsea, we've gone Newcastle, we've gone Villa, gone Brighton, and all them clubs. We're just watching football, man. We're just watching football, man. We love the game. Don't matter who's on. Why not? I'm gonna watch it anyways. I might as well watch it with you lot. I was going to watch Everton Chelsea, but it went on TV. Miley, Trippier, goes back to Dubravka, who's in place of the injured Pope. Fine, Sarr. Even someone like a man like Sarr, you're quite good on the ball. Like, you could set it from centre half and just let your centre mids know we're trying to play football. Bruno Gomares got out of there, finds Trippier. Who has he found? Isaac's got no chance there. Ben Davies had it covered. Destiny and Doggy goes home to Davies. Don't think that was the best option to go to Vicario, but he did it. And it's here with Ndoggy. Bit of shakiness from Spurs here. And saying that, they've lost it very cheaply to Newcastle here. Almiron, Gomares, show me something. Poor pass. The idea was there, I'm not going to lie, but it was never getting to Gordon. Brendan Johnson holds on to the ball. Poor Johnson's giving it back. Is that? Hey, Gordon, pass it. Hey, Newcastle, come on. Oh, you're rubbish, man. Spurs should be conceding there. Almiron. Spurs playing their way into trouble. Brendan Johnson bugging out. Isaac found Gordon. Gordon played it into the path of Almiron. Almiron, horrible. To be fair, it looks like he's falling over, but fam, that is the equalizer. Newcastle have had literally 2 good chances. Other than that, there's not been much. Son, Richarlison. Spurs corner. It's one of them. Newcastle, I think you're conceding again. So hold your horses. I don't think it's a corner. I think Richarlison was offside. The equalizer is come. I'm telling you, inshallah, my guy. Well, man, like Arsenal yesterday, go finish your dinner, man. It's all good having these half chances. Finish your dinner, man. What a ball that was from Son. And he warned Newcastle. And that's why you see Destiny and Doggy doing that inverted roll. He's just ghosted into the middle. Nobody's marked him and tapped it home. I think Jamal Lascelles is still feeling the effects of crashing into the advertise boards. Boy, better soldier that. Your team needs you. Livramento. Anthony Gordon. Can't pick a player. Does on the second occasion. Joe Linton. It's Banduli, but he keeps possession. Miley, looking kind of spooky as well. If you're old enough to start Premier League games, you're old enough for agendas. Pardon me, Trippier. Is Almiron onside? I don't think so. Horrible from Meaty. I would say good defensive line from Spurs, but it's more of a case of Almiron. You could see he shouldn't be doing that. Didn't make sense. Doesn't make any sense. I mean, Newcastle can't complain that they're a goal down. Not really brought much to the table. And why is the ref stopped the game then? Sarr of Tottenham Hotspur. Pedro Porro. Value for money. This game, I guess, it's not the most boring of games, but we need a bit more quality in the final third from both teams. And Doggy could be in here again. Oh, he's probably shown why he's a left back. Touch was poor. Lissell hooks clear. Bruno has become Casper the friendly ghost. Scooby Doo, where are you? Bruno Gomares, media watch. Told man in the big games, he looks spooky, man. He'll be there when everyone in Newcastle's there. Do you think any Arsenal gems from the academy will come up next season? By God's grace, you never know, man. Next season, I don't know. It all depends. I don't know, man. I hope so, though. Who doesn't want academy players? Ben Davies passes still managed to find Son. Newcastle, the way you're moving, you're going to have to go 2-0 down to see any sort of reaction. Newcastle have not really said much in an attacking sense, but they've had 2 very good chances. Brendan Johnson's done well to evade his man. He's found Poro. Good tackle by Joe Linton's. Tottenham still have the ball, saying that they've lost it. So, still here with Spurs. This is quite poor, really, from Newcastle. A bit like Arsenal, there's no intensity. Bruno Gomares. See, he lost the ball again. Are you spooky, man? He's booky in big games. Nobody talks about it. He's booky in big games, man. He's booky, man. Trippier heads it. Would that be a Tottenham corner or Son will get under wraps? Yes, he decides to control it. Son Heung-min. Oh, Trippier got ripped. Squared. Oh, Richarlison! It's taken him 20 league starts, but he's gone 2 goals up. Again, this commentary should not be free. I told you, look, it's moving like Newcastle got to concede a second. Why? Because no, Colt, we smell the game, mate. The IQ is different. Richarlison has bagged Newcastle in a nasty position. It's Tottenham Hotspur 2, Newcastle 0. Great play once again from Son. Another assist. Trippier, I won't quite say it's a mistake, but you made 2 mistakes midweek and you got ripped today. Again, off the ball, Newcastle have been atrocious by their own standards. You know, Trippier is slow to get out there. Very slow. Very slow. And when he does, he's flat-footed. He's, meaty. Listen, meaty. Bruno Gomares is only interested in getting close to his Brazilian compatriot when it's too late. Maybe he's allowing him. Richarlison pokes home. Shit guy finally scored. Crazy. Newcastle is so meaty. They're jamming away from home. Never mind, the defense is horrifying. Trippier finish. It's been a tough week for Trippier. He's going to have to get the whiskey out. You can tell Son probably didn't even want to rip. You're his ex-teammate. Probably didn't even want to rip you like that, but you ripped yourself more than anything. Like, what was that? And Richarlison running away with the meaty celebration, doing his thing. Son's such a player, man. It's peak for Newcastle. That might be it. Jamal Lascelles. Trippier. Unlike against Villa, Spurs have been clinical when they've been presented chances. I don't know what that was. The Miley you might have to come off as well. It's just hard, to be fair, like they need something. Probably need to bring on Longstaff just because he's on clamping, guys. There needs to be some intensity and some energy from Newcastle. And even saying that, Newcastle with Almiron, they've had chances. It's a tough day for Trippier. It's a tough day. Richarlison, Spurs might run right here, man. Kulusevski, can they get a third? Kulusevski, finds Son, who has 2 assists. Can he get on the score sheet? Son Heung-min. Squares it, finds Pedro Porro. Goes for the shot. It's found Richarlison. Joe Linton, apologies. I thought Richarlison get on that. Boy, shocking defending for both goals. Shocking, mate. Shocking. But play stupid games, you obviously win stupid prizes. And you end up like this. Fewest touches in the game. Isaac has had 8. Gordon's had 11. Miley has had 13. Livramento has had 14. Almiron has had 15. So people with a bit of things about them in the final third or can cause Spurs problems have not been able to get in the game. Romero is down. Boy, Tottenham Hotspur might even get a third if you lot carry on like this. Romero up to his feet. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't. Well, you know what? As much as I don't want Spurs to win, Eddie Howe, I don't like you no more. So bring it on, man. Eddie Howe chews his gum. and watches as his team are currently 2-0 down. Could it get worse? Pedro Porro, it's a free header. No, the camera tricked me. Trippier head's clear. Joe Linton, got to get it down and play. Meady's got it down, but he's been disarmed. It should be free. Brennan Johnson's effort has just whistled wide. Trippier's header found the Spurs man. Well, found Joe Linton, and he's had his pocket picked. Brennan Johnson's gone for the shot, and you know what? The replays don't look as wavy as what happened in real time, but Newcastle playing with fire and complaining they're getting burnt. It has even clipped the outside of the post. Spurs at home have been fast starters. Newcastle haven't equipped themselves to such. Basuma, a bit nonchalant from him, but his teammates helped him. Kulusevski, a nonchalant from him. Miley. Sarr. Baggy touch from Sarr's in trouble, played his way into problems. Richarlison leaves it, Kulusevski. And to be honest, that's another big chance Spurs have had to score a third. Newcastle need half-time tomorrow. They need it today, sorry. They needed it yesterday. It's peak. Sarr, don't know what he's doing. I'm just saying he's good on the ball. Maybe that's why. This was always going to be a tough season for Newcastle. First time the squad has been in European competition. But hey, got to get with it. Trippier. I hear you, but isolated to this game, not doing enough. Bruno Gomares. Has he found Isaac? Isaac's got a lot to do. Right, he sent Romero a shot. Sent Davies for a bagel. Found Joe Linton. He's offside anyways. You man, I'm easy, man. But I can't lie. Spurs have held that offside trap very well. It's not the first time a Newcastle player has been caught offside there. But I mean, Newcastle probably fortunate it's not worse. That's the worst thing that's gone bad for Spurs today. Ball's gone out of touch as they tried to play out from the back. Throw into Newcastle. Trippier. Jamal Lascelles on the ball, folks. So, Livramento. Not see nothing in the final third from Newcastle. Joe Linton skips past Sarr, but has no real options. Gordon plays a 1-2. Fair enough. Poor pass from Joe Linton sums up Newcastle, and now they've got some defending to do. Son's put the burners on. His peak. Son's put the burners on. He might do a madness. Son Heung-min. He squares to Kulusevski. Oh, how's it not free? Towards the dying embers of this first half, I'll be real, I am surprised Tottenham Hotspur have not gone 3-0 up. Literally in the last 3 minutes, they probably had about 3 opportunities. What has actually gone on there? But they've been very quick from back to front. Son put the burners on his peak. Once he gets in full stride, his peak. He went. He found Kulusevski. Don't know what's happened there. As Kulusevski's cross bobbled up under his fingers hit Miley. And it's evaded everyone. To be fair to Richarlison, he's thrown everything he had at it. Just couldn't get onto it. It should be free. Oh, in fact, there's a corner to Spurs. Spurs corner delivered. Richarlison flicks it on. Oh, it looked like it was going to go into the path for Son instead. It's into the grateful arms of the Bradcar. He's found Trippier. Sums up Newcastle and he's going to play. Horrible from these, man. I don't know why. Obviously, I want Spurs to lose, but I don't know why man had hope in. By the way, Nottingham Forest will welcome Spurs on Friday Night Football, but I don't know why man had faith in it. But I mean, in Newcastle, they're not on nothing away from home, man. At home, I mean, away from home, Newcastle, I like, Pussycats. Richarlison and Destiny and Doggy with the goals currently, people. At a push, it should be 4-1 Spurs. They probably should have conceded with Newcastle chances, but they should have a lot more. Basuma, I don't know what he saw there, but it couldn't have been a teammate. The Bradcar's hooked, but who is that too? In the last 10 minutes, Newcastle have had no touches in the final third. In the hot box, sorry. No shots and no shots on target. Saying that, Gordon, I was just about to talk you up. Sarr's disarmed you and sent you for a bagel quickly. Like, Son does not rate you. Sarr does not rate you. And he's found Brennan Johnson. He's probably turned a terrible pass into a half-decent one. Richarlison, battle of the meaty. Them man are too meaty. 3 minutes added on, people. Joe Linton. That's horrible. Yeah, Newcastle, you man need half-time. I don't even back you lot to get a goal before the end of the half. And then, yeah, it makes it a bit of a nervous game for Spurs. Any sort of plaudits you've had historically for Newcastle this season, you can't be saying that after this 45 minutes. It's nothing here. Saying that, Livermento has killed Gordon. Killed Gordon with that pass. Does well to keep hold of it. Gordon finds Gamares, who's hiding in another big game. Anthony Gordon, Bruno Gamares. Bruno Gamares aims to switch play. Who has he found? Found Trippier. Trippier. That's a good ball by Trippier. Basuma's done well. Is that a corner? It's a goal kick. Is it a goal kick? I'm a bit confused. Camera angle still isn't telling me. It will be a corner to Newcastle. Actually. Kieran Trippier to deliver. It's going to have to be something beautiful, really, to change this scoreline. I mean, Trippier is very good from set pieces, but Newcastle's they've all been terrible. Trippier delivers. It's aimed towards the back post. It's quite horrible. Lascelles can't get there. I'll be amazed if Lascelles steps out for the second half. Because even in that action, you're moving very gingerly. It's quite horrible, actually. These men need a Red Bull or a Monster. They look tired. Boy, probably. Like someone said, this is the first time the bulk of that squad, if they haven't done it at other clubs, is playing in the European football. But I don't think that's an excuse today. You just ain't doing the magic. That's no excuse for, like, Almiron's miss. That's no excuse for, Gordon inconsistency or lack of decision making in the final third. A minute left of half time. In fact, probably 30 seconds, folks. Newcastle have had nothing to scream and shout about. They've not brought nothing to the table. And they deserve to be 2-0 down. Not that I want to praise Spurs. The Bradco finds Joe Linton. No, he don't. It's here with Anthony Gordon. Gordon, I don't know what he's trying to do. Romero's not make Joe Linton for no reason. Kulusevski's falling over but finds Richarlison. Gives it back to Romero, who's joined this attacking move. Kulusevski looking to attack the space. Finds Son. Son, it's on the edge of Newcastle's area here. Romero, that's a good pass to Kulusevski. Kulusevski first time. Not quite sure what Richarlison was doing there. Appeals for a corner. Not going to get it. And that is the end of the first half. Spurs 2, Newcastle 0. What do you lot make of that game so far, people? Boring as hell, man. Let me go and get some more water. On that note, fullback and then Doggy scored, so it's only right I show you a fullback.
Against this right back, Charlie.
So what have we made of that game, folks? So far, I think Spurs are good value for their lead. I don't think Newcastle have asked them any questions. Yeah. We got you lot. Apologies, people. It's getting quite hot with all these lights. If you don't mind me, just got a young halftime refreshments. Sorry, folks, man. I'm dying. Right, we're back. If Newcastle don't try put on the slightest of pressure, I can genuinely see them pulling it back, but they just ain't turning it on, man. They've had half chances, literally two. If they play how Newcastle can historically play this season or what we've become accustomed to under Eddie Howe, then yeah, they can get back in the game. But the way they're moving at this moment, not sure, man. Not sure at all. What is even the halftime statistics, man? Premier League, let's actually see. I'd actually like to know how many shots from either side. So yeah, as if you don't know, in the 26th minute, Destiny and Doggy scored his first. The second Spurs goal was scored by Richarlison. He struck in the 38th minute. Boy, well, as I said, Spurs are good value for their lead. They've had 11 shots, 5 on target. Obviously, have 2 goals to show. Have had 65% of possession to Newcastle's 35. They played 277 passes to Newcastle's 154. And pardon me, statistics are not going to do that justice because, in my opinion, Spurs have passed the ball forward a lot more. There's been 5 corners, 2 for Newcastle, 3 for Spurs. Newcastle have had 4 shots, 1 on target, 35% of the ball, as I said, played 154 passes, been offside twice. Absolute meaty. Man, I know, let's all forget this happened and only focus on United being ish. I like that, Dels, man. Nah, I like that. You clearly saw me just eating a patty, man. Why for that as well? Why are you trying to know? Why are you trying to know when next? Sorry for throwing these things in. Why are you trying to know next man's bell system? If I had to, and if you, since you want to know, this is why as a content creator, you do them things before you go live. It's peak. I ain't gonna lie. I remember there was one game pre-season. Oh my god, might be the United one. I needed to cut to do that. I needed to cut. I think that one of them videos around that time, the ending is so abrupt for me. I'm like, yeah, bye guys, bro, mazza. But I like that, man. Come on, man. You think this is easy? Keeping you lot entertained, talking about the game all the time. Sunday and that, you know. You think I don't want to just have Sunday dinner and cool off? Smash the like button, man. What's all of this about? I can't lie. Watching this goal again, like zooming in, Richarlison's goal is so terrible from a Newcastle perspective. Horrific stuff. Alright, Trippy, you got done dirty, man. This has been a bad week of football for you, innit? DG still when he did digestive biscuits talk. Don't start, man. You lot hung me out to dry, man. I don't want anything from the net. Twitter people are onto me. Made one joke about Emery getting schooled about Arteta. The Wolves are onto me. It's crazy. I want no problems with none of you internet people, man. I'm scared, man. You lot scary, man. Faceless people and that. Very scary. Did you see those 7 Hog blaming his squad and Fernandes also throwing his team under the bus, even though he caused their team to concede? I mean, if you name Bruno Fernandes as your captain, you don't respect the club that you're representing. You don't respect his teammates or your players. You don't respect yourself. I actually think Bruno's a good player. I don't know you as a man, but I think you're a fantastic footballer. I think you're a weasel. I think you're a petulant child. I think you throw your toys out the pram. I think you're not someone I would look at if I was a player when things are going wrong and say, yeah, you know what? He's serious. I'm going to be serious. You're the first to run. It's an absolute weasel, man. Who's in more trouble, Ten Hag or Poch? I think Chelsea are more likely to sack their manager, if I'm honest. But I would say Ten Hag because it's looking spooky. At least Poch can hide behind. Obviously, Ten Hag can say I won a trophy, but at least Poch can hide behind I'm still new to this club. I think they're both in issues, as Arthur said there. I think they're both in issues, but at least Poch can say, yo, listen, I'm new to the club, first season. A couple of these men are not my players. Ten Hag can't really run that. Can't really run that at all. You've alienated Varane. Your talent ID's been stinky. Everything. There's not a single reason. And I like Ten Hag as a manager, based on what you hear. There's not a single thing with Ten Hag that if you was a United fan, you could say, yo, it's lit. Talent ID is stinky. Player relations is problematic. Tactics are spooky. Yeah, you put 1-2 results together, and don't get twisted. I want him to stay in his job, but yeah, Fulham win Premier League. Low key, Fulham are cooking. Ain't this the second week in a row they've dealt with someone? Yeah, not Ten Hag. De Gea's moving, man. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know I have to wonder. I wish I was in the footballing world. Why hasn't De Gea got a club yet? Because say what you want about him, but like a man doesn't have a club. It's December. He hasn't got a club. That's crazy. Your agent must be meaty, man. Because me, I'm chatting to Newcastle still. There must be a short-term contract that can happen there. I'll even sit on the bench. Even Arsenal, if they sell Ramsdale, I'll say, listen, I'll take a 6-month deal. Even though, don't get twisted, the hair at Arsenal does anything. But I don't know, man. But that's an interesting debate. If I had to bet money who's going to get sacked first, I'd say Ten Hag. But do I see them getting rid of him? Because if anything, Chelsea are more likely to sack their manager Poch and get someone else in. Like, what are United going to do? Think De Gea is waiting for the MLS season? Be my bro. I'm not being funny. If I was a footballer, big up America in that. You think I'm trying to hit MLS? You think I'm trying to hit MLS, bro? Big up the Middle Eastern dons like Saudi, all these sides. They got crazy money for everyone. You think I'm cutting? I'm going over there. De Gea. Say what you want. You've won Prem Cup, bro. Casemiro and Varane. You've won stuff. You want a League Cup at Man United. In 50 years, no one's going to care about how this season was. Done your thing at Real Madrid. Go and get that crazy money. 300 bags a week. It's monopoly over there. See if them man there want a content creator. Big up the Arsenal content. But I'll do that as well. What do you mean? Immediately. Crazy money, bro. Like, it's different. That's why I rate Ruben Neves. Even that Gabby Vega guy. Like, to be fair, you're too young to be going over them sides. But he said, you know what? I'm going to go over there quickly from Celta Vigo. I'm going to pattern up my stuff. And I'm going to come back to Europe and be lit. Like, I'll be doing the same. Whoa. Are you mad? Let me even see how much these lot get paid. Highest, what should I even type in on Google? Highest earners, Saudi League. They need to shout me, man. They need to shout me, man. I'm sure that if it's not the household names like Neymar and all of these guys, I'm sure they just pay people weekly to play football, man, because no one knows the other players' names. I'm sure I could bag a little spot with Neymar when he's back fit. What you want, brother? See, Brozovic from Inter, 104k a week. Are you mad? Koulibaly, 576k a week. Mane, 650. Fabinho, 692. Same as Jordan Henderson. Mahrez, 865. Kante, 1.7 a week, mate. A yearly salary or some crap like that of 86.2 mil. Don't know how the tax works. Broski. Neymar, 2.65 a week. Benzema, 3.58. Ronaldo, 3.6. There's something out there for you if you want to go and get that, man. Saudi could probably pay me 100k or sit me on the bench. But I'll sit on the bench. Haaland injured or dropped today. God knows, man. Ronaldo and Benzema, 5.7 mil a game. Exactly. And the thing is, that's their base salary. If you're Ronaldo, image rights, it's mad. Sponsorships, crazy things. And the tax, like, obviously, I don't know how it works in Spain, but England, if you're earning that, boy, unless you do the Richie Sunak stuff, boy, the tax man is going to take all of that Saudi. I don't know how it works over there, but them man there don't seem like they're on the tax bullying thing too tough. Do you know how much money can make? Get the bag, man. Get the bag. Get the bag. Jorginho, you could even get a play. El Nene, you could be marketable. Salah, the marketability as well. Thiago Silva, what's the point of stressing out at Chelsea? I hear it when these footballers say, "Oh, I want to be competitive, man. I want to still play in the top league and that." I hear it, legacy and that. And you can't all be money driven, but fam, everything you lot have amassed now could be dwarfed. Even if you go there for 6 months, quickly, just be humble. 6 months. Boy. Each to their own, but I know me, and you don't have to ask me twice. There's probably hella perks as well. So yeah, El Hilal. If you've ever been watching me, I know I don't do El Hilal content, but I'm 28 years of age. When I was born, I swear down, like I liked Henri because it was the European football, but I've always liked El Hilal. So shout me, it'd be my absolute dream to be a content creator, to be a commentator, to be anything that you lot need me to be. Pause, like whatever you lot need, modest salary, 100 bags a week. It's lit. There's rollies there. It's crazy. The tax out in Saudi is nice, whether you're a celebrity or normal citizen. Bro, music to my ears. Ronaldo was given 100. You see what I'm saying? Arthur, you see what I'm saying? Got to cut ties with Ray as well. Nah, you could do that over there. I'm not gonna go out like Fredo. Like I'm not gonna do the Fredo thing and get 5 years for a madness. I'm not gonna do that. But I think Ray's good out there, man. I think it's calm out there, man. I'm going immediately. I've always supported them clubs there, man. Please shout me. If you're listening, please shout me. The watch was amazing, but 1 mil. He got given it, innit? It's monopoly settings over there. Second half is about to kick off, folks. Spurs doing their huddle. Bro, it's always a bad omen when Newcastle taking forever. Even Fabinho got given the free watch. It's lit. And some of them footballers will probably end up wanting to live out there, to be fair. Oh, 20 years, man. I want to give me a death row contract. Even 6 months. 6 months out there will be lit, man. Just 6 months. Come back lit. And you could probably wear a watch out there with no problem. See if you're doing that in London. Make sure you're around the gorillas, innit? Spurs to kick off the second half. Make sure you're wearing them nice things around gorillas, or you know how you're protecting that, innit? Or you get your goods insured, which is a bit of a pussy thing, but yeah. Spurs have kicked off the second half, folks. Arabic commentary is lit, man. I think everyone's watched the football game on a dodgy stream and seen it. Spurs are looking to start the second half how they ended the first. When Spurs have scored 2+ goals, out of the 25 games they've played, they've won all 25, they've drawn or lost none. As an Arsenal fan, hopefully that doesn't happen today, but can't see Spurs losing. Brendan Johnson delivers. Cameron not being kind. Has that gone out for a corner or a throw-in for Spurs? I got 1,500 backdated pay last month. Big up yourself, man. Christmas is on you. The only thing for me, I need beer. It's calm out there, man. They'll adapt, man. Certain areas you could do certain things. Oh, lovely trickery by Isaac. Has he lost the ball though? Killed Livramento, but well, eventually Newcastle have given the ball again cheaply away, and it's here with Sarr. Sarr's played a square pass to Ben Davies. Once again, every Spurs player bar the goalie in Newcastle territory. Every Newcastle player in their own half. Obviously not now because it's back here with Vicario. Ronaldo gets that every 5 minutes. Boy, it's Ronaldo, isn't it? Ooh, I thought Richarlison was fouled there. That was silly. Who done that? Sarr climbed all over him. That was very silly. Why don't people mention Reece James's weight when they talk about his injury issues? Man can't be caked up and running around intensively like it. Don't break his body down. I don't know, man. He could just be big boned. I don't, even though that's not true. I don't know. I can't comment. I'm not a physio, innit? I can't talk about your BMI and all them things there. But I guess it's something. I don't know. But it's quite concerning, these Reece James injuries. Like, he doesn't seem capable of playing more than 45 minutes. Isaac has lashed on to a quick free kick from Spurs. Bruno Gomares, first thing he's done all game. And he's found Almiron. Almiron advancing forward. Arthur, take a day off, man. I hear it. Take a day off, man. You just said you got, 1,500 back date payment. Relax, man. With the trolling, man. Allow me, man. We've already won something this season. I have you know, though. English Super Cup. So yeah, Almiron, Gomares. He looks spooky in big games, man. I'll keep saying this, even if it's a lie. I'm just gonna say it so many times it becomes the truth. You think I forgot when you did that little pre-game Arsenal post where the failed transfer and that? Spurs defending their lines relatively well here. and they're looking to counter-attack Sarr. I mean, I think we're all waiting for Newcastle to actually look like they're trying to play here. Miley, Almiron has Trippier on the overlap, finds Trippier. Is that a corner, ref? It is a corner. Reece James needs to take a full year out and sort himself out properly because we've seen talent like Wilshere, etc., suffer from persistent injuries. Reece James is not a physio. I don't know what it is with Reece James. I don't know, again, because I feel sorry for these players because at the same time, if you're genuinely listening, I'm not saying the clubs are wrong, but if your clubs are telling you to do something in terms of maintaining your fitness and you're doing it and you keep getting injured, who do you blame? Because I'm sure these footballers seek out many experts. They all say different things. How many footballers do we see have surgery which is seen to correct everything, then suffer setbacks? You're a footballer, innit? When these guys are talking with authority and whatnot, you're going to believe them. And essentially, footballers are guinea pigs. Like, I'm not saying Chelsea or any club are disingenuine, but if you had two options of surgery, one brings a player back sooner, one is probably the best thing for his long-term health. Where football and morality, the lines start getting blurred, what one would they probably suggest to them? Almiron on his right-hand side founds Guimaraes, gives it back to Almiron, who's lost it very cheaply. Richarlison will say thank you for that, and Spurs look to mount a counter-attack. Kulusevski doesn't have any forward options. To be fair, Sarr, Johnson, Son all busting a gut to get there. Kulusevski's found Johnson. It's not the best of passes. It's plucked off the head of Richarlison. Joe Linton can't bring it under control. But yeah, it's sad to see what's going on with Reece James, and doesn't seem like there'll be an end, will it, really? Or maybe this was always meant to be your story. You was meant to be injury prone. I'm not quite sure. Spurs looking to get in here once again. Didn't come to anything. Big up yourself, S. And appreciative to have you tune in. True, but Madrid been their chief medical doctor over Goulet's injuries. It's true. But maybe they're switched on and them man aren't. I mean, it's easy for me to say, but like if you're like Reece James level to like household name, like Ronaldo, in it, like obviously Ronaldo probably listened to Madrid and that, but like your health is your health. Like you probably had your own physio and your own stuff. At the end of the day, you got to look after yourself, innit? And with the amount of games these footballers play, with the amount of probably injuries that a lot of even them 22 out there at the moment that are probably playing on, with the amount of rehab and the painkiller injections and all these things, it's crazy. Successful passes, apologies, in the final third. In the first half, Newcastle only had 16. With 15 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock in the second half, they've had 19. Real Madrid is a different level. They're professional to the max. And it all depends, man, because some people, like, obviously, like, it all depends on the way of football. Like, some managers probably have crazy double sessions and your body might not handle that. Some footballers, it's known that, you know, if you're playing on a Saturday, you probably have to, call a set piece to Newcastle comes to nothing. But if you, like, let's just say we're playing on a Saturday, for example, we play for a football team, we're a professional club, we play on a Saturday. Some footballers need to start the week heavy and then kind of wind down towards the end of the week so that you do your most intense stuff on a Monday, Tuesday, whatever. And as you go on, it lowers. Some people need the opposite. You'll never know. Bruno Guimaraes, don't know what he tried to do. Couldn't be trying to find a target. Joe Linton, to be fair, he's done well here. And he's probably overplayed it. To be fair, the more games we're going to do careers, I'm not sure what you're saying here. To be fair, the more games, I think see being cut short. I mean, if you're a decent player for club and country, like you're going to play probably 70 games a year, maybe more. R9 has said that back in the day, the managers would do some crazy ish that would make no sense and would only make them hurt and wouldn't help at all. Almost military things have changed with times, but some managers still like that. Reece James is a world-class player when fit, but he moves like Partey in the medical room. It would obviously hurt Chelsea to lose arguably their most talented player, but I could see them cutting their losses. There's probably still an emotional attachment and he's the captain, but if it persists, then as we know, the best ability you can have is being available, and obviously Reece James is going to be the captain. You're going to need to be bet on, essentially. And if that doesn't happen, then we're going to say the same things. It is sad though, man, because the quality is there from Reece James. Speaking of quality, that's a good forward pass from Joe Linton. Apologies. Bruno Guimaraes, Almiron. And it's that man Davies again with an important interception. Christian Romero's on the floor. I think he got stepped on. Sar's trying to help his fellow centre-half colleague up. What actually happened there? I think he just got caught by Joe Linton. It was an accident, but yeah. I mean, it's been to be expected. You were going to see a more front-footed Newcastle to a degree. Has the damage been done? Arguably so. Can they find 2 goals? Going to need to find them sooner rather than later. One less class talent fullback to the bin. We lacking those recently. It's sad, man, because Reece James I don't think there's many clubs that he wouldn't be a key player of. It'd be nice to see players open up on them injuries there, if I'm honest with you. Or like give us a guise into what they're facing, why this keeps happening. I don't know. Is it to do with your rehab? Is it to do with how you're managing yourself? You know, are you fit enough? Are you eating right? I don't know. These are all questions. I don't know you from nowhere. I don't know what you're doing. But it is harsh because playing devil's advocate, what if Reece James is doing everything they tell him? He's got his own kind of personal physio, nutritionist, guy that looks after him or girl that looks after him or whatever, and these things are still happening. Then how do we look at it? And it's got to mess with you mentally as well, if I'm honest. Who knows, man? Nature of the beast. If you don't take care of the first incident, it's so difficult to take care of your injury. I hear that. If it's one thing I know, the general public don't have much sympathy or morality for millionaires, especially when they're young, black, and tattooed. Maybe that's just the States. I think that's everywhere, essentially. And away from that, even if it's black, white, just lower class, essentially. So, Ben Davies. Bordering on 10 minutes into the second half, it's more of the same. There has been a bit of a fight back from Newcastle of sorts, but it's nothing to scream and shout and write home about, if I'm completely honest with you. It's nothing effective per se. Christian Romero, that's a good ball into Kulusevski. He's got into the pockets quite well today. Kulusevski, Pedro Porro delivers that. Oh, that's an important interception. It's still alive here. So, plays a square pass. Basuma goes for the shot. It's not good enough. Pardon me, the Bradker collects. One guy told me after he tore his ACL, he always kept thinking about it. Therefore, he was putting less weight / more weight on one side over and over again, leading into having multiple knee issues. So you said 2 things there. When you get one injury, you can get many, which is a typical case of footballers. But also, when the physical wounds heal, mentally, it's a mental F as well. Because indirectly, for him being scared to get that same thing, he's indirectly harmed himself. It's a serious battle. Like, you look at someone from you look at Bentancur, who's had a massive injury, come back, played like 2 minutes, and you're injured again. Or you look at Timber, you just made a big money move to your boyhood club. Fans are singing your name. You've won the Community Shield. 50 minutes into your Prem debut, bang. Especially for the Courtois, the Timbers, even Matip, because I imagine Cameroon have qualified. Well, even if you're Cameroon, really, and Mbuemo's injured as well, playing at the Africa Cup of Nations. It's a Euros year as well. I don't even know if there might be Copa America. I don't have a clue. I'm probably capping. It's probably the next year. But you get the point. To be fair, when Vinny got his ACL in the UCL match, he got the best physio he could and did a full change in his diet and life. Only got another injury, 2.5 from then, if not more. I don't think Reece did enough to save himself. It's difficult, but I can't say Reece did or didn't. Because what if, for argument's sake, bro, he did the same thing? It's just been a different outcome. Unless I could have a conversation with Reece James and piece things together, I don't know. Do I think it's getting to a case where you have to look at maybe what Reece James and also Chelsea are doing with his rehab and managing him and stuff? 100%. But I don't know. To be fair, Timber was playing for injury and made it worse because he thought it wasn't a big deal. I guess that might be youthful naivety, knowing when to save yourself. Bruno Gomares has popped it to this right-hand side. Trippier. Try to line up the interview, DJ. I don't think they'll want to be interviewed by the guy, but we can try. Almiron squares it to Joe Linton. Joe Linton doesn't get it because Bruno Gomes doesn't want to play a give and go. It's here with Lascelles now. Lascelles has found Trippier. Trippier, who got ripped for the second goal. Got Bruno Gomes. Somehow got over here to young Miley. He's floated it up. Isaac can't get there. Will that be a corner? I think it's a goal kick, personally. I'm not sure. It's just live plus. Doctors have different opinions on what could be done. None have the right answer. Exactly. And it takes me back to the numerous surgeries that Santi Cazorla had at Arsenal, Ruben van Persie. Maybe not so much now, but how many times did we hear this player is going to Barcelona to have an operation? It's like, think about it, me or you. Obviously, you don't trust everyone fully. Corner kick to Newcastle, Vicario punches. We don't trust anyone, but God forbid, if me and you or anyone here had illness, we're going to go to the doctor and you're going to listen to my man, innit? Because he's gone uni to do all of these things. It's an important foul Lascelles had to make there. He will take a yellow card. I don't think he was the last man, but he had to. Spurs broke 3 versus 1. Timber is going to be class when he comes back. I actually think it could have been better for his confidence to go down first game instead of being given a proper good run. I mean, one thing I would say, like, injuries happen, innit? It's better you get them young. And like in life, you can't have it all your way. You know, he just made a big money move. Fans are loving you. Premier League, you know, Mikel Arteta's got positive days at the Emirates for fighting for things. You've got a Euros year. Strikes me as a very religious man, and based on how he portrays himself, and then bang, injured. Like, that's going to test your confidence. Hopefully he's back sooner rather than even Saliba last year is not quite as extreme, thank the Lord, but you know, massive injury from a domestic point of view. Christian Romero, Basuma. I agree. Certain injuries put a real mental block on the person. I've dislocated my shoulder so much I'm shook to even play rugby again. See, he's shook. And blink and you miss it. Goals are like bosses. Richarlison is anything but prolific. And he has scored a third, people. Newcastle are done. Newcastle are finished. Boy, Marcus Rashford, you got mail, man. Letting this guy score more goals than you. Well deserved by Spurs, really. Half an hour left. It's all over. I get the vibe, even though I missed that. Let's see the replay that Newcastle invented that their own issues. See what exactly happened. Basuma had it on his right-hand side. He's found Pedro Porro. Oh, it's a great pass from Pedro Porro. The Brad cut is smoking. It's a lovely move from Spurs. It's lovely from Richarlison. It's lovely from Pedro Porro. Porro's put a lovely weighted pass into Richarlison. Lascelles, Trippier gone to sleep. I think the Bradka has to take the blame for that, because why he's come out of his line, I don't know. He's in no man's land. Richarlison would have a lot to do. Unfortunately, he's out of bounds. And Spurs fans can breathe. Their team has gone the third goal up. Probably the most important goal they'll score. Bro, they're giving Richarlison a career, man. This is absolutely stinky. I've been injured 3 times, twice with a broken arm and recently broken knee. It's mental game more than physical. Ben, what the hell happened to you, man? What's going on? Damn. Bruno and Joe Linton sliding and landing in some dangerous positions. Almost injured 2-man based off slipping alone. It's over, Newcastle, man. Is that? Once again, Bruno Gomes, big games. It's spooky. It's spooky. It's spooky. People let him get away with murder. Fantastic player. I want you at Arsenal. Like you a lot. Big games. Even against Arsenal when they won, he weren't on nothing. Surely you got to make some changes, Mr. Eddie Howe. Because it's 3-0 with just under half an hour plus added on time. Spurs can get a couple more. The most you can do is mash up the clean sheet. Look, silly. Trippier smoking. Sold Gamara short. And Spurs could be in here again. Kulusevski's they're gonna score 4 or 5. Brendan Johnson, peak. It's peak. Oh! Best bit of defending today. He's clipped the inside of the post. As you would have heard me, I just said it's 4-0. Brendan Johnson, when you see things like that, it might just not be your day, but it should be 4. He got zanged. Newcastle might as well just be humble, go for it at the back, because it could get embarrassing. Spurs are doing what they haven't done in their last 5 games when they've had chances. Be clinical. Kulusevski's done very well. Richarlison. Oh! Son, to be fair, is at full stretch. The angles were against him. It's going to get a lot more uglier for you, Newcastle, man. At the 6th time of asking, Spurs look set to get a Premier League victory. And I'm sure in terms of chasing perfection, their manager will probably say, you know what, we got a lot more today. Oh, Brennan Johnson's very unlucky. I thought it was going out. He done quite well to get something on that. Oh, and another day that clips the inside of the post and goes in. Instead, it's clipped the inside of the post and gone out. Smash the like button. As you can see by Postecoglou and the fans, and even myself, we thought it was in. I'll be real. Tottenham play better football than us. 3 different attacks in 5 minutes. We can never. Smash the like button, people. Tight legs out there. Newcastle ain't got proper subs. Spurs lucky. I don't think Spurs are lucky. And even if you are lucky, you make your luck, man. They made their luck today. Gabriel Jesus and Pigeon on the same amount of goals in the Prem. Boy, I promise you, Ben White would never be able to clip a ball like that. Ben White ain't got the drip, bro. Pedro Porro. I love Ben White, but Ben White's better than him defensively. Pedro Porro's them Spanish man there, they got drip. Them kind of players you hope leave Spurs. Basumo and Doggy, who kicked off proceedings, can't bring the ball into touch. Trippier, probably one of the most happiest Newcastle player. Isaac has come off, ain't seen him today. Ben Davies, who's made some important interceptions, been minimal, and they won't get highlighted because Spurs are winning 3-0, and there's probably a bunch of other talking points, probably about how poor Newcastle have been, but he deserves his hail-ups. Newcastle need a goalkeeper, DG. We got that Rams, though, little 50 million. Not 20 million off if you throw in Gamaras. Try to bump them. Why not? Millie. That's what the Premier League's about, boy. To be fair, he showed a lot more courage than a lot more of his significantly more experienced teammates. Millie in possession. Livramento. Pass is cut out. It will be a throw-in. Karius would never. Big up Techers, Dave. Boy. It's been a terrible week. At least Chelsea lost. Spurs winning 3-0. We dropped points. But to be fair, at least United lost. Chelsea lost. There's no even agenda. Liverpool Spurs fans laughing. Gordon. These are the performances that get you out of my FPL team, man. You should have bagged. Gordon. Gomares. Gordon loses it. Spurs can be on the counter yet again. It's 4 against 3. 4 against 2 even. Depending on what Kulusevski can do. Always pick the wrong pass there. Brendan Johnson's got a lot to do. Don't lose it, Brendan, mate. Does well to find Porro. Pedro Porro. Has he seen the keeper off his line? He has, but probably showed why he's a fullback. Might snap you in my FPL team. Long story short, but knee-related in work, where I fell downstairs since it was wet, but had knee issues when arm was broken second time, where I don't trust docs as much. That's crazy. It happened at work. I hope you got compensated. That's a mad thing. I think not even the craziest injury. I've seen someone break their leg on the foot pitch. Kulusevski is caught. I say the thing that sticks out for me is I used to have a neighbor that was like, he was a proper motorbike man. This white guy, proper motorbike guy, had Harley Davidson, all sorts of like proper. Like, I don't even know about motorbikes like that, but he had bare of them. Like you'd always see him outside. Very cool guy. Arsenal fan, ironically. Would always be fixing up his stuff, like his bikes. He's always outside, like playing around with his bike, putting this off, that off. And like I remember in secondary school, like I just saw him and he had like these metal pins in his leg. And then like the next time he done the same thing, so he broke both legs. He had them metal splint things. Fuck that. Some things are real, man. Forget all of that. Injuries are not good. It's here with Son on this left-hand side. Son goes for the shot, is saved. I don't look at the table, so I don't know who's top or all those sort of things there, but I just think Arsenal, if you're Arsenal, Spurs, Newcastle, Man United, City, Chelsea, Liverpool, just keep working hard to see where you could be. I love motorbikes, but I'd rather do that sort of stuff off road, man. In England, you're gonna get licked down or get licked into something. It's not worth it. Saying now, I've not gone flying off a quad, but gone flying off a quad. But I was all right. But then I created a domino effect. I saw my friend flying in the air, like Rey Mysterio. And it's so bad, God forgive me. We can laugh about it because we're so alive. But I was cool. Like I had no top on as well. Like when I crashed into the pole, I thought I actually thought I was gonna die. Like I thought the pole was gonna like stab into my belly. When that didn't happen, I was laughing. Saw my friend fly in the sky, saw him crashing, had all these cuts. I was cool. And I felt so shameful, but I can't lie to people. Like he was injured, I started acting injured as well. But I just felt bad, man. Like you can't be the only one injured. Like, oh, I had a massive, well, it's gone now, but it's a massive like gash on my leg, but it was cool. Newcastle down this left-hand side. Young Millie continues proceedings, keeps the ball very well. I love quad bikes as well, man. Quads, dirt bikes, all that stuff. But off the road settings. Bruno Gomares uses the outside of his foot. Boy, that Brazilian stuff ain't going to work in North London, is it? Callum Wilson making himself a nuisance. Son with a bit of defending. Lovely bit of skill from Son to get out of there. Finds Destiny and Doggy's touch, deserted him, got excited. Callum Wilson, Anthony Gordon. I mean, if you're Newcastle, at least get a goal for your fans. Joe Linton at full stretch. Ooh, thought that was a bit of a nasty tackle. He's crashed straight into, yeah, it is a yellow card. Crashed straight into the Spurs, man. I don't think he had any intention of winning the ball there. Quite dangerous, if I'm honest. Me, Bruno Gomares and what's his face? Bruno Gomares and Joe Linton. I mean, they get away with that roughhousery. It's nice to see there's some consistency at some point. That was him all day of the week in North London. Quite reckless, really. Knows what he's doing. Shoved his teammate. I mean, his fellow professional. Absolutely horrible from him. No need for that. 20 minutes left. Reminds me of the one barging Big Gabby. Wonder why they got away with that. Christian Romero. Poro. So, can Saar find someone? I think Spurs probably within this 20 minutes left probably just need to keep the standards, if anything. Bruno Gomares. Livramento. Not really had much joy. I think he's been one of Newcastle's better performers, but fundamentally, how far does that go? Boy. Newcastle, there was a little stage where they looked like they were half on something. Not quite now. It looks like Spurs are on course to probably even add to the score sheet. I'd probably back Spurs to score fourth. If I'm completely honest. Newcastle are dodgy away from home. I think we're seeing why. Right. If you're just tuning in, Tottenham Hotspur 3, Newcastle 0, Livramento, Joe Linton. Bruno Gomares gives it back to his fellow Brazilian. Palms it off to Longstaff. What can Longstaff do? Trippier and acres of space. Don't know if there's many forward options for you. Killed Gordon there. Gordon's done well to keep hold of possession and go back home. Trippier. Longstaff. Story of Newcastle's day. Giving it straight back to Tottenham Hotspur. Saar finds Son. Don't know what Trippier's on the floor looking at the ref for. Newcastle being Spursy. Best way of putting it. Pedro Porro. Looks like naturally the tempo's died a bit in the game, as you would imagine. Livramento wins the first. Joe Linton in possession. Poor from him. It's never a foul. Finds Millie. Ooh, Saar. Bruno Gomares. Longstaff. Lascelles. Boy, Newcastle haven't been what they've been built up to be today, have they, folks? Longstaff, Gomares. Back to Longstaff. I mean, it's taking Newcastle to go 3 goals down to have some sustained bit of possession. They've done well to get into Spurs' area, but again, quality in the final third is missing. Kulusevski. Great technical player. Somehow got out of there and found Richarlison. Great tackle by by Gomares. First good thing he's done today. Surprised he's still on the pitch, if I'm honest. It's games like this, Newcastle probably at this point just need a St. Maximin, someone that's just going to run up and down. Speaking of subs, Spurs making subs. It doesn't look like Richarlison will get the chance to get his hat-trick. It looks like he'll be coming off. Saar will be coming off. Probably expected. He is injured. Or just coming back from injury. Højbjerg and Lo Celso entering the fray, folks. But that's a bit harsh on Joe Richarlison, sorry. Probably back him to get a hat-trick today, isn't it? Boy. Lewis Hall coming on for Newcastle. Leave Memento off, probably a bit late. Probably just hoping the clean sheet can get ruined. Anthony Gordon off. Oh, terrible day for FPL. Matt Ritchie on. Oh, mate. How long before Matt Ritchie gets in some sort of handbags and verbals? Miley wins the ball. Gomares, dilly-dally and loses it. Højbjerg, Lo Celso, subs getting some touches. Good little bit of play from Spurs. Son finds Brendan Johnson. Brendan Johnson tries to thread it through to Poro. Can't. Skips past one, past two. Overdoes it. Disarmed by Longstaff. Miley. Lewis. Joe Linton. Cannons off a Spurs man. Throwing. Mudrik could never. Who's that? Who's Mudrik? I've never seen him play in Prem. Is that a new player? Couldn't have been signed last year for Chelsea, could he? Last in Trossard. 15 minutes left of this game, folks. If you ain't hit the like button, hit it. You are not seeing a goal. Spurs have scored 3 goals against Newcastle, and they're currently leading 3-0. Longstaff. Almiron. How are you still on the pitch? That's a terrible pass into Wilson. And I don't know what Wilson was going to do, but it can't have been much better. And Spurs get out of there. Horrible, horrible. What was the point of that? What was you trying to achieve with that? Bissouma, Lo Celso, Destiny and Doggy. Gives it back to Bissouma, Lo Celso, Bissouma and Doggy. Bissouma. Spurs just knocking it around patiently. Lo Celso, ooh, courageous header, bravery to put your head there by Lo Celso, isn't it? But instead, Spurs are actually attacking here. Brendan Johnson, probably unfortunate not to be in the score sheet. Skips past Lewis Hall. It's falling to Lo Celso. Is there someone to square it to? Lo Celso still has it. Pedro Porro nutmegs Miley for no reason and shoots. Spilled by Dubravka, but no Spurs man are pressing. Pedro Porro having a very good game. Nutmeg Miley sent him to a shop. I don't buy him. He's had a good game. Don't blame him for going for the shot. Unfortunately, it weren't good enough. That's a good ball into Wilson. Romero's done well. Wilson's also done well to just purely fight to keep that alive. He's palmed it to Joe Linton. Joe Linton. Calling the kick to Spurs, but Joe Linton's horrible. You know how mad the improvements would be if we had fullbacks making those runs that Puro does. It would be lit, man. One can only dream. Ain't really, maybe Arteta, it's not demanded of Arteta from these players, but you're right. You are right. Feel sorry for Newcastle fans made the trip to London, man. See your team get back 3-0. Nothing's guaranteed as a football fan, but yeah. Just make sure you sink the pints. Corner kick to Newcastle. Can there at least be something for Newcastle fans to scream and shout about? Corner kick to Newcastle. Oh, it looked like it was taken off Sarr's head by Joe Linton and sums up Newcastle's day. Okay, we get it. Newcastle fans travel to the ground in their numbers. We understand. Can you show the match, Sky Sports, please? Finally, we're back with the match. Lo Celso. Can only find the Newcastle shirt. 14 minutes, folks. I'd take Tavares over that Puro. That's cap. That's cap, man. But Tavares is proper shit. Destiny and Doggy. Pedro Puro, fullback Union. Almost lose it. Bissouma's onto the case. Højbjerg. Same here. I believe it's a Arteta thing. I don't think we can blame everything bad about Arsenal movement on the players. Just like our wingers were playing badly, not taking defenders on and passing backwards. Arteta allowed them to move and do things freely. Be nice to see that. Be nice to have some attacking fullbacks. Surely a handball by Joe Linton. Banduli, but he skips past a man. Never a foul. Newcastle been given a free kick. I don't personally agree with that. I think he's looking for that. I think big old lump like Joe Linton going down like that is a bit ridiculous. Free kick when the rest ready. It's a bit far too out for Trippier. It's going to have to be a good ball into a decent area to at least mess up the clean sheet for Spurs. Our attacking fullback is inverted, so they don't do overlaps. It's a tactical thing. Yeah, Nuno Tavares horrible, man. Some Arsenal fans were tweaking about him and Pablo Marie tweaking. They're crap. Trippier, what can he do? I mean, he's not Cristiano Ronaldo, so he's going to have to deliver it into the box. Looks like the ref's giving a talking to. Ref, when you're ready, let the set piece happen. Trippier delivers. Can't get anything on it. Into the hands. Grateful hands of Vicario. Our wingers will have so much joy if they had attacking fullbacks who bomb forward. It gives the opposition so much to think about. Yeah, that. Do you think United can get something at Anfield next week? Well, a draw would be a good result. Anything can happen in life, but on form, Liverpool gonna, not that Liverpool have been amazing, but you imagine they win. Lo Celso wanted too long on the ball. It's a great tackle by Bruno Gomes. Miley to Callum Wilson. Ooh, Callum Wilson was chopped down twice there. Well, that was a bit of a mean one from Romero. And Bruno Gomes doesn't quite like it. I think that was a bit of a, I think it was a necessary one, but I think that was harsh. I think Romero's one of them. You know, he did a madness, so you're trying to be calm. He will get booked regardless, though. Probably a good yellow card to take, if I'm honest. Spurs players had 2 bites at Callum Wilson. Oh, that's going to hurt. He trod all over it. Yeah, oh, that's definitely going to hurt. Eesh. I guess hindsight's a wonderful thing, but just based on how Callum Wilson's equipped himself, I wonder if Eddie Howe would reckon, you know what, should I have started Callum Wilson? Who knows? Toro Martinez scored again. Wish we had that. Basuma and Gomara is inverbal. Oh, to be fair with you, why is Bruno Gomara not got in trouble for that? He's got, you know, he said that. Gets away with a lot. He has had a little nibble, ref. He has done that to Basuma. You know, you're in dangerous territory anytime you do that. Looks like he's got away with this, but boy, that looked a bit mad. VAR looking. You've got to have a look at that. Surely he's done a little. He ain't. I don't think I won't quite go as far as say he's headbutted, but he's had a little. He's tried the thing. I mean, what I would say, Newcastle should have showed that fight 80 odd minutes ago, innit? Hands all over Joe Linton. I'd be careful if I was a Spurs man. He's played short Lewis Hall. You won't do it. Meaty Chelsea Utes. Meaty. Matt Ritchie keeps it alive. Swings it in first time. Vicario collects. And he'll just do acrobatics and jump on the floor as we head into the closing stages of this game. Bruno Gomes gets away with everything, man. Gets to hide in big games. Start doing WWE. Not gonna lie to you, like Bruno Gomes, you gotta have a look at that. He'll escape with it. Obviously, Sunday League, you're not gonna get red for that. But in this soft thing that is the Premier League, boy, you're probably very fortunate. Big up you lot for being tuned in as usual. If you haven't smashed the like button, you know what to do, folks. Matt Ritchie. Spurs want it back again. This is sort of the contest we wanted to see before. Looks like Trippier will go into the referee book. The ref has judged. He's caught his man late. Kulusevski on the floor. What happened there? Yeah, Trippier, that's mad late. You can't be surprised you're booked. Hella late. Trippier is one of the most overrated players in Prem, man. Scores at 1-2 free kick. Shouts. Does the fake passion merchant thing. He's meaty, man. Lacazette scored 3 goals today. French league might be a Farmers League. Boy. Spurs could be in here for a full. Son Heung-min. Oh, the touch. Oh, is he going to point to the spot? Is the ref? Yes, he has. Things have gone from bad to worse for Tottenham Hotspur. Son wins a penalty. It's about to be for Tottenham Hotspur, for Newcastle. Things are about to go from bad to worse. He has caught him. But could he have stood up? Because it looks like his touch caught him. It looked like his touch would have taken him around it. The Bradker's foot has actually made contact. It's his hand. His hand has caught Son. Trippier's mad over it. It's about to be 4. Son finally going to get on the score sheet. Let me just change all of this up. Change all of this for you. Newcastle, it's a lonely trip. Back up north, man. It's peak. Wait. We did say goals. Son has scored his last 5 penalties. I'm going to say 6. It's in the back of the net, man. I'm going straight down the middle. Part of me thinks the keeper, well, Son's left keeper's right, but I think Son's going down the middle today. Son Heung-min takes a deep breath. Rannoch's not the biggest. Son Heung-min scores. To be fair to the Bradker, he does go the same way, but it does not matter. Tottenham Hotspur, 1, 2, 3, 4, up against Newcastle. For Newcastle, boy, been crapping it. Need to refund the travelling fans. Been absolutely spliffed. Haven't been good enough defensively. Been terrible in the final third. Nothing to scream and shout about in the midfield. To be fair, Bruno Gomares did tell the keeper the way he's going. Didn't want to listen. The Brad Cup doesn't look like he gets close to it as that one showed. 2 heavy defeats for Newcastle. But Newcastle are horrible away on the road. And to be fair, like some of the fans get a bit too big for the boots. Good club though. Big club. Boy. Son smiles. I'm not sure Newcastle fans will be smiling. Oliver Skip coming on. Brian Gill. Well, I wonder if he'll score. 5 minutes odd left. Guess there is time to get on the score sheet. Newcastle haven't been the same since they beat us. Long may it continue, man. Newcastle. Right. Brennan Johnson off. Basuma off. Boy, Kraft on for Newcastle. Too late now, man. Trippier needed to come off 20 years ago. Not the best return to his old stop. Well, it's technically not his old stomping ground, but it is. Lewis Hall's been shook since he's come on. Taking too long in possession, lost it again. Oh, Lo Celso not making guys for no reason. More meaty cover mutes. Højbjerg, Lo Celso, Skip, horrible from Skip. Joe Linton. Overran it, should have been looking for a foul there. Newcastle have actually been given the foul. What, they played on? Oh, gosh. That could have been so bad. Dropping my water. Good thing the cap was on. Long may it continue, fella. Callum Wilson by default probably been Newcastle's best player today, if I'm honest. Son Heung-min. I wonder if Spurs will get 5. And Doggy. Son. Højbjerg. Son. Højbjerg. Lo Celso. Højbjerg. Patient build-up play. Skip. Back to Højbjerg, his midfield colleague. Patient play from Spurs. Probably just trying to tick over now. Højbjerg. Brian Gill, how long if he lose the ball? Surely you got to be gone in Jan. In fact, you might catch live because Spurs have had bare injuries and whatnot. Ben Davies. And Doggy, it feels like so long ago, but he actually got things kicked off people with his goal. Skip. Lo Celso. Lo Celso finds Pedro Porro, who's arguably a candidate for man of the match. Brian Gill. Destiny and Doggy. Can he get a second? Finds Kulusevski. Kulusevski delivers. It's a free header. Skip has to score. Oh, well, he showed why he's Oliver Skip, in it, really. Dubravka's the luckiest man. Should be 5 for Tottenham Hotspur fans to be celebrating. Poro. Skip. Can't get it. Neither can Kulusevski. Lewis Hall. He's having a terrible day, Lewis Hall. Since you've come off the bench, everything you're doing has been terrible. Literally. How can everything you do be rubbish? You're not alone. Your teammates have been worse, but still. Oliver Skip, you could have made it 5. It's here with Son. Can he make it 5? Son. Oh, it's about to be 5. Oh, it's whistled just wide. As mad as it is, and Spurs have 4 goals, they could have had a lot more. I think Son's a bit unlucky. The angle's going quite against him. He's done quite well to fashion a bit of space. But he just can't hit the target. Boy, the Bradkill's gone long. A minute left. Wonder how long's added on. I'm gonna bet on 4 minutes. Ben Davies has gone backwards. What's he done there? Why has he done that? Vicario. Who's he found? Brian Gill. Can he keep hold of the ball? He's got away with it. Good to see you, Mo, too, man. Appreciate that. Brian Gill has gone backwards to Vicario. Vicario. Ben Davies. Knocked it into the channel. Who's he found? Found Kulusevski. That's a good flick on by Kulusevski, actually. The Celso into the path of Skip. Skip has Brian Gill to his right, who has Pedro Porro. Finds Porro. Poor pass from Gill in honesty. I don't think it's the best across from Porro, but I think he's killed from Brian Gill's decision making there. Slightly, people won't realize, but he slightly played that behind him. Into minute 90. Is Son coming off? It looks like Son's coming off, actually. He's giving the captain's armband to Christian Romero. How long's added on, ref? Son got man of the match. 5 minutes of added on time. Son got man of the match. It's been good, but I think Poro's been a lot more livelier than Son Heung-min. Take nothing away from him. I think that's a bit lazy from Sky. Jamie Donnelly's coming on. More Hotspur away grad minutes. See what you're about. To be fair, it is nice that, playing at home, get some minutes. Keith Birkinshaw, Spurs' manager from 1976 to 84. If you want to know that. Romero. Højbjerg probably doing too much there. Spurs could have some defending to do. Joe Linton has scored. That's what I'd be very angry about if I was the Spurs manager. Because, yes, I'm happy about the 3 points to end the losing rut, but that didn't need to happen. That starts and stops with Højbjerg. And I mean, that gives the Newcastle fans who have stayed something to scream and shout about. It means nothing. But that is so unnecessary from Spurs. Yes, you sign up to that when you're a team that plays out from the back. But Højbjerg is doing too much. It's all Højbjerg's fault. Shout out to Callum Wilson, and him getting an assist is like reward for how he's looked off the bench. Shout out to every Newcastle player that was involved there. But that is such a preventable goal from Tottenham Hotspur. And it takes a tiny bit of the gloss off the game. Don't forget to smash the like button if you haven't. Newcastle shouldn't have scored. At least the away fans have something to shout about as they, I guess, make the long journey back up north. I don't know if they're going back today. Surely getting a hotel, making a weekend, early Monday morning of things in London. 3 minutes left, people. We've seen 5 goals. We did think we'd see goals. Pardon me. For the neutrals, probably wanted to see them more evenly shared out. Spurs have scored 4. Pardon me. Newcastle have 1. Lewis Hall wins the header. Everything he's done, not work. Headers, on the ball, decision-making, passes. It's back here with Spurs again. Kulusevski, that's a ball. Brian Gill, you can keep that in. Not that I want you to. Brian Gill. Pedro Porro. Højbjerg. Hill. Yeah, they need to sell this Hill, brother, man. He's not good enough. Callum Wilson, not getting no change out of Ben Davies, who's also been a silent great performer today. Lo Celso. Nice to see Gomara's has woken up. He's clipped the ball over the top. Can he find Wilson? It's gone past Wilson. It's gone into the path of... Oh, it's offside anyways. It doesn't matter. At least now Spurs won't be as annoying for a week since it's not 4-0. Nah, it'll still be annoying. We lost, they won, innit? Spurs could be in here again. It's here with Brian Hill, so we probably have to cap our expectations. Brian Hill. Like I said, cap your expectations. He's back here with Newcastle. Wilson doing his best Nketiah impression. To be fair, I think Wilson's been quite positive for Newcastle off the bench. Bit harsh. Skip. Højbjerg. Lo Celso. One can hope, but it will take something ridiculous for 3 more goals to go in 2 minutes. Højbjerg. Poro. My man in the match, I give it Pedro Poro, if I'm completely honest with you. I think he's been good today. Bruno Gomares. Good run from Callum Wilson. Is he onside? He's got a lot to do against Christian Romero. Doing too much. Lost the ball. Thought you need to get your shot away. A minute left. Højbjerg. Romero just telling his teammates to relax, man. Lo Celso. Ben Davies, that's a good ball into Højbjerg. First time into Lo Celso. Lo Celso attacks the space. Been a decent cameo from Lo Celso. Curse to the commentator there. Just as I've said that. Lewis Hall, how long for you lose it? Well, I've got my question answered there. We'll have a throwing. Time to get some rest for sure, broski. Soon done, man. Appreciative to you lot tuning. We're half a minute left, folks. Oh, did Brian Hill foul his own player? This Jamie Donnelly guy, got no opinion on him, this youngster, because he ain't touched the ball too tough. Bruno Gomares. Matt Ritchie. Croft. Delivered. I mean, Wilson done well to get the header, but it's got to go either side of Vicario, straight into his hands. Newcastle have had chances, but haven't looked good in the final third. And defensively, they've been appalling, which is why they've conceded 4 goals. And that's the end of the game. Spurs end the winless rut, people, and win 4-1 against Newcastle. The grind is real, man. It's been appreciative being here with you lot, but why waste your time, especially because Spurs won and we lost? Seems like there's a bit of handbags between the Spurs players and the Newcastle players. Newcastle seem to get away with this all the time. Not that I want to back Spurs. Sore losers there, really. But you lot smash the like button, like, comment, subscribe. There's a lot of handbags. Vicario's telling them they're loony, mate. Well, to be fair, if Newcastle showed that fight or were as quick to surrounding Spurs shirts post-game as if they did it in the game, they might not have lost 4-1. But we've been treated to 5 goals. It's been another great watch along. One love.
Spurs, there's always that active red line defending. I think it's like